thank everybody for being here and being involved at Council on Homeless Persons launch our reconciliation action plan. Of course, today we are here at our office on Stanley Street. We are meeting on Wurundjeri country. As such, it is a joy to introduce for you Uncle Colin Hunter, Wurundjeri elder. Uncle Colin.
Yes, I say thanks, Damien. I'd like to start off by acknowledging that this morning we are meeting on the lands of my ancestors, the Wurundjeri people. And I want to take this opportunity to pay my respects to my elders, both past, present and emerging, elders from all nations, but I particularly want to pay my respects to everyone here this morning. Would always like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us. I'd like to acknowledge them and pay my respects to them and their families. Women Jekka, welcome. Wurundjeri Balik, Yimakandi Bik. The Wurundjeri people welcome everyone to land today. Wurundjeri, no, Budumbor War, Kondi Nak, Dubin Bik, Bulik Bor, Tilikan. The Wurundjeri people want to look after and protect the land as they did long before. Wurundjeri country extends from the inner city of Melbourne, goes across the mouth of the Great Dividing Range, west to the Werribee River, south to the Mordialloc Creek and east to Mount Bawball. And the Wurundjeri people are part of the Kulin Nation and of the Warrong language group. Hello, my name is Colin Hunter Jr. or Willard, meaning possum. A name given to me by my grandmother as a young boy. I'm a proud and passionate 7th generation Wurundjeri man and a direct descendant of Bibijin, who was no Ngeta or head of the tribe at time at first settlement. And it's through my grandmother, Gumbara, meaning white dove, or only tiny or Nanish is known to us, Mom, that have got Aboriginal culture and heritage in my life today. So for that, I say thanks, Sam. My grandmother was one of the last of the Aboriginal people born in the early 1920s up at Coronet Mission in Hillsville, before she got pushed up the Barramon River in New South Wales. In Aboriginal culture, a great deal of respect is given to the land, the plants and animals alike. Got my beautiful gum leaves here. I'll just place them over there on that bench somewhere. And if you get an opportunity as you're moving around this morning, just take a nice one and put it in the pocket for the day, please. The significance is will keep you safe on country and give you the access to the resources while you're on country. And while you're on Wurundjeri country, you're most welcome to the traditional lands and the waterways of the Wurundjeri people. So women, Jekka, welcome. Location, eh? Right where we are, you know. The rocks over there, the mob over there, you know. Yeah, I've been working with that mob for the last nearly 14 years, so yeah, it's been a bit of a ride, you know. And you know, at one stage there used to be 21 Aboriginal community controlled organisations at Gertrude Street. Now we've got the one, you know, and it's not even, it's a gym, you know, it's the last one left, you know. And it's good to see the health services coming back into Gertrude Street now. It's taken back into the old place. It's a bit of a shame that the program, Charcoal Loan program, didn't last through COVID, but you know, it's left a bit of a gap. You know, there was a lot of, I just had the young fella that managed that, the young white fella, Troy Crowlin, that managed that program on the phone to me this morning. He's still heavily involved in that program. But yeah, congratulations on launching the wrap. And then I was speaking to Damien this morning. I said, "Oh, what is it, your first one?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh." He said, "It's an innovator." I went, "Whoa, that's pretty ambitious, you know, that's really ambitious, you know." But good luck with that, you know. And I say to people, you know, usually at the start of the journey, people don't realise they're already doing things, you know. You've got to stop and have a look at what you're already doing. I'm sure he's already doing stuff in that space. And it's, you know, if you're a black fella, you're 2.5 times more likely to be homeless if you're a black fella. And as I said, I've been working with that mob for nearly 14 years. Yeah, bless her sister's inquest has started just during the week, you know. One of my girls from the park. Aunty's cousin up there, you know. So, yeah. Look, I was saying to Damien, with Aboriginal employment, it's not like normal employment. You know, I've been working down at Yarra for 13 and a half years as a senior advisor in Aboriginal partnerships down there. And I just say to Damien, I'm on a work cover case at the moment. Cultural competency. You know, at beautiful 11 years now. I got restructured into HR. Quiet down. So yeah, you need a support system set up. You need internal and external support if you're going to employ Aboriginal people. When I went to council, I'd never used a computer 13 years ago. Never seen one. I'm a tradesman. I've got two trades. I'm a fitter and turner and a plasterer by trade. And I've come into this office job 13 and a half years ago. Never seen a computer. But I was lucky enough that I had some good mentors. You know, I had a manager and a mentor, a colleague who was I was telling Damien, an English literature major, beautiful policy writer. We've been together 13 years, but it's tough. It's tough. I was just reading, any Aboriginal person working in government or in mainstream, it's a huge cultural load on. Because we're stuck at 8.8 EFT at council. So where's my support sort of thing? So make sure you've got that support set up internally. And good luck with that rap. You know, it's ambitious, but yeah, it is. But you know, good luck and enjoy the day. I won't say too much more, but you know, it's I just wanted to make the point that it is a pretty significant area around here. You know, and you know, since the early days up the end of Gertrude Street, there we've got the fig tree. Does everyone know the fig tree up the end of Gertrude Street there? Yeah, look, my great grandmother Martha was one of the community members that get on their soapbox down there in the early days. But you know, in the 1920s, you had these prominent Aboriginal families from all the missions around the state coming and settling in Fitzroy, you know, a sense of community. And that's still there today. Not as prominent on the streets, but you know, we're still there and we're still around. And we've been here for 230 years since colonisation, and we're not going anywhere. So look, good luck with your wrapping up that. I'll leave it. Thanks for your time.
The seats up the front here, they're very comfortable. Extremely comfortable.
Thank you so much to Uncle Colin for that welcome. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Aunty Carmel Harrison. I don't want to tell you too much about Aunty Carmel, but she can tell you about herself. So please come on up.
Angela, where's that video? Andrew's got it. Can we play that while I'm speaking on behalf? First, I'd like to say thank you. It's an honour to be here. And I've known Angela for many, many years, and she's helped us in Melbourne, Dandenong, and rural country. Because of her, I'm here today. And thank you, here, the CEO, for meeting you. And the rap, I don't know much about it. I've queried Vicky, cousin girl there, and then Angela, but if someone please can explain to me how it works and whatever. And please forgive me, I'm shaking. This is the very first time I've done this. This is my eldest daughter, Sonia Harrison, and this is Patricia, my sister's daughter, but the daughters with extended families. So, like I said, we're still pen and paper. And like I say, the penny's mightier than the sword. Well, I, Carmel Harrison, with my eldest daughter, Sonia, and Patricia Harrison, whom, these are my parents here. We had this house at 22 Fifth Avenue. I was age 9. As you see, as it starts going, there is no audio until my parents start speaking. Within that, from my recollection, there was extended families that stayed with us. It was a big house. It had a bungalow at the back, and it's allocated all family members. So there's about 13 there, and there's my mum there, my cousins there. Where they are today, is my dad.
I've had 2 hernia operations, and I take blackouts, and I generally take epileptic fits now and then.
You can't work at all.
I can't work at all now. And this is what put me back in my arrears of renting it and everything.
Mrs. Harrison, can I ask you how you support 18 people a week?
Well, I just try. I really don't need a budget, I suppose, because the bills are so high. I really blame myself, you know. I don't know. I try to make a meal, you know, for us, to go right all through the family.
What are the main things you have to spend money on? I mean, the rent's, what, $4.50 a week? You can't afford to pay that. What are the main things that you have to spend money on?
Well, food and, you know, clothing and things for the girls for school. They need, different times they need a book or something like that. I don't know what it is really. I don't know if it's because the way I am.
Yeah, that was my parents back then, and we're still surviving because of them. And I'm here speaking on behalf. I'm 60 in August. That was 50 years ago, and it's still ongoing. And therefore, I'll just start at Aunty Carmel Harrison, stand with my two daughters, Patricia and Sonia. Once again, come from Gippsland. I'm Bidwell, Jarjaran, Yorta Yorta, and connection to country. Living in rural country as an Aboriginal elder, I have cited personally and experience with young mums, young couples, and elders with all these factors of homelessness, domestic violence, lateral violence, drug and alcohol abuse, and unemployment issues. And therefore our people's issues with lack of linking into services that are not provided within our areas up there. We have got no providers like here that Angela has with this organisation here. This is why I'm here. And we are the most disadvantaged and vulnerable people when asking for housing and other services. The council, CHP organisation for our own peoples, which I stand here and state, have supported and maintained with stability within our living environment with my peoples in rural country. Thank you, Angela. CHP organisation and reconciliation plan to me means the first step of acknowledging Aboriginal culture, our relevance and sensitivity towards sharing our ideas, to listening to the elders within the community. We need to be treated with respect and dignity and allow for our voices to be heard. Much valued employment should be made available through these programs. There are two case scenarios with myself and many more that need to be prioritised. And whilst I speak for my families and to alleviate overcrowding, which I'm going back 50 years ago, and preventing homelessness, we need more homes. We need to buy new properties. We need to assist and allocate 4-bedroom properties with extended families. As you see in there, it is still going on with the aunties, uncles, dads, and specifically the grannies. The grandchildren are our next generation. Apart from that, we have living proof in this video. Evictions, homelessness does happen, prevention. And now I'll pass it to my daughter, whom has had the experience of homelessness because she's a survivor and she stands with me today. Thank you.
Yeah, I was homeless at one stage. At one stage, and I've been to Angela a few times in the past. She's helped me, provided some assistance, and now I'm on the H2H program, homeless to home. Apparently they're not applying no more, taking no more cases, and I was one of the first ones. So I've got a place now, and I'm doing really well. So I see them on a weekly basis, and it's great. So yeah, things are looking great.
And I want to thank Angela as well for her support, for giving CHP, for giving her this platform that she has done amazingly. Not only filtered for us, but reached out in areas where no one else would. And she's built that relationship with us. to help us to be able to build that bridge in areas where it's hard. Like, you know, there's times where she doesn't know what to do, we don't know what to do, but we work together and she's working with us in that relationship, and it's amazing. So we've got a little present for Angela.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know she's from Dandenong. That's where I was 40 years ago, I met her.
Plant a tree.
Thank you.
It's life. From us.
You didn't have to do this. This is a best rap.
I know, but the reason what she taught us is what I think the rap should be able to learn from the relationships that she has given us, that she can contribute as well with what's happening here right now. So we just thank you, Angela, for inviting us.
It's been a long journey the last few decades. Quite a few people, we've seen people gone, we've seen people incarcerated, we've seen homelessness and etc. But we're still here, we're still battling, and we've still got the CHP rap to continue on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gang. That was so wonderful. I'm now delighted to invite Maddie Vogel up to perform some music for us before we return to the music.
Everyone. My name is Maddie Vogel Walker. I'm a very proud Yodi Yodi. Born and raised on Yodi Yodi country in a Chukwuemala. Thank you for having me. It's, oh my goodness, I'm so honored to be here. Before I start the few songs I'm going to sing for you all today, just like to acknowledge and pay respects to the traditional custodians, pay respects to their elders both past and present, also pay respects to every single one here. I'm going to start off with a beautiful song that's really special to me. This is called How's the World Treating You, originally by Chet Atkins, and he wrote it for Elvis Presley. And yeah, this song's pretty special. This is my pop's favorite song. He's not with us anymore, but it's pretty clear in the past couple of weeks that he's still here spiritually. So it's pretty nice to have him still. So this is how it's treating me. originally. And it's called Minyamalana, which translates to free spirit woman from Gorgora, so English. I wrote this song about my connection to home country. And, yeah, I feel very privileged to still be able to feel my home country. It's my favourite place in the world. And yeah, this is Minyamalana, and I hope you enjoy it. She spoke softly to me, feel the earth beneath your feet, and slowly with the breeze, feel your lungs with the air, the stars can disappear. Close your eyes and you will see. Have you traveled many homes to find the one to speak to you? Have you ever stopped to listen to me? Oh, she's up amongst the trees and oh, she's watching you, my friend. Free spirit when we close again. Called Name, and it's about moving on. I feel like most of my songs are about breakups, but I really put you through a lot. But anyway, this is fine. I hope you enjoy. If you first started out performing, I started performing in Tamworth when I was 17, and I got accepted into the CMAA Junior Academy, Country Music Academy. And when I told my mum that I got accepted in, she said, "Can you sing?" And yeah, no, I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, I hope you enjoy it.
That was so wonderful. Thank you again to Maddie. It just occurred to me that we should have musical breaks during every workday. And to answer that suggestion, can I invite CHP CEO Jenny Smith?
I would thank Damien, except, it's leaving me 3 wonderful acts to follow. It's not quite what I had in mind, but good morning, everybody. And thanks so much to you all for being here in person and online for this event, which is so very important to us at CHP. Thanks, Maddie. That was wonderful. Really. I think your singing will be one of the things we'll really remember from this event. Thanks also Uncle Colin Hunter for not just being with us today, but I think taking the opportunity to share a little bit of your experience of and the history of the location where CHP is here in Collingwood and on the edge of Fitzroy. And here at CHP's office, we are standing on Wurundjeri country, and I pay my respects to all Wurundjeri elders. And online today we have with us colleagues from across the state and from lands of various peoples, and I also extend my respects to the elders of those lands and any elders who are here with us today. And Aunty Carmel Harrison, thank you so much for being here and making a very special contribution to our event today, and for embarrassing Ange, for which we're extremely grateful. And you could just, feel free to tell us a few more stories. We would really like that, and we really appreciate you and your daughters sharing that very special story with us. So the Council of Homeless Persons is deeply committed to reconciliation, and so we ought to be. We are the peak body for ending homelessness in Victoria, and nobody's vision of reconciliation includes 1 in 6 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Victorians experiencing homelessness every year. Homelessness work is essential to reconciliation work, and reconciliation work is essential to homelessness work. And it's going to take all of our concerted efforts to actually reduce the homelessness of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. And so, as we know, we're here to launch our first reconciliation action plan. And Uncle Colin, you've made me a bit more nervous about our ambition in our first RAP going, straight to innovate. We did decide just to get on with it and get straight on to the second stage of difficulty. But I am delighted to have the opportunity to briefly provide you with an overview of our RAP. So the RAP asks us to consider what a reconciled Australia looks like. And I think Aunty Carmel said it for us, but I'll just go over her main points. We really, understand deeply here that this will be an ongoing journey. And that today, as we stand here, CHP's take on reconciliation includes the importance of a number of things, of celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and histories, of telling Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander stories in those languages and words, sharing with pride those narratives that can tackle the attitudes that are so associated with housing discrimination and homelessness, recognising that colonisation is a process that continues today, that over-incarceration, child removal and housing discrimination are current issues, and recognising that these practices must cease. And if Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are not to be overrepresented amongst those experiencing homelessness, that has to change. We acknowledge the importance of self-determination of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples determining their solutions and the programs required to meet their own needs. So we are committed to promoting the importance of strong echoes that are well-resourced and empowered to both develop and deliver responses to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander homelessness. We're committed to promoting cultural competence in our specialist homelessness systems. The RAP asks us to think about our relationships with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander stakeholders, and to think about how those relationships assist us to acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander leadership. So in the RAP, we renew our commitment to self-determination, our commitment to a greater proportion of any new funding being directed to ACOs. Our commitments as an organisation include developing stronger relationships with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander stakeholders, celebrating Reconciliation Week, and communicating our dedication to reconciliation, and working to achieve the actions in Manana Warn Tan Matakut, the Victorian Aboriginal Housing and Homelessness Framework, and to having internally strong anti-discrimination policies. The RAP also includes a focus on respect. It articulates how we at CHP will celebrate Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and use that celebration as a force for anti-discrimination. So central to this work is improving CHP's understanding, and I mean all of our understanding, board, staff, volunteers, everybody at CHP's understanding of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures, histories and strengths. And to do that, we will be developing the cultural competence of all of CHP and for staff, not just once, but in an ongoing way. And we will develop our capacity to celebrate Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders' sovereignty, and that's by acknowledging country, and also, as we have today, having a welcome to country at major events. We will continue to look to celebrate excellence and knowledge about Torres Strait Islanders throughout all the areas of our work. We are both excited and challenged by the opportunities that have been identified through the RAP process. And they are particularly in relation to staffing and procurement. We commit to improving our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander recruitment and to meaningfully supporting retention. We want to look to foster that employment right through the SHS. And we want to increase our procurement for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander-owned businesses. The RAP finishes up by outlining a governance structure that we'll use to meet our commitments and to reflect on how well we're going with furthering reconciliation. And so that will include the work of the RAP working group, all of our staff, and implementing the RAP and tracking how we measure and report on our progress. Sorry. I think you can tell from today we are all very proud of our reconciliation action plan. And so I'm very pleased to take the opportunity today to thank the people who were involved in its development. It was undoubtedly led by Trish Hackney-Westmore, who's here online. There she is, waving. And she was very ably supported by Ian Goff in that leadership role. The RAP that we have has provided a really great reflection of CHP's history of work in support of reconciliation and the work that occurs through every aspect of the organisation, as well as the ambitions that we have to further reconciliation in the coming years. So I'm absolutely rapt to have the, and I didn't mean that, I'm thrilled to thank the inaugural working group involved in the development of the RAP, and that includes Jason Russell from our very own PEST team, Karen Dershow and Lisa Vanspel from the Guyala Wollongong, who operate the Victorian Indigenous Homelessness Services, or Vision, which is a network that's absolutely vital to us all. Dean Wanganeen from Aboriginal Housing Victoria. I understand Dean now lives overseas, but his really strong contributions were really greatly appreciated in the development. And I think all the CHP staff have been involved, but particularly to the staff who are involved in the development of the RAP, Angela Kyriakopoulos, Cass Borden, Cass Caroni, Damien Patterson and Sean Mulgrew. And so we now turn to the very hard work of implementation, and we are going to be extremely fortunate to be guided in our endeavours in that regard by a renewed working group. And so we'll be keeping Jason Russell and Lisa Vanspel, mentioned a moment ago. The ongoing group includes Shalise Smith and Amber May from the Guyala Wollongong, Lisa Briggs and Jessica Lancaster from AHB. And can I just say that we feel so lucky to have leaders of that calibre, the calibre of those people, offering their time and expertise for us to help us meet our goals. And they will be assisted by CHP's own Angela Cass, Damien, and we'll be welcoming, already welcoming Katie Hooping and signing up to that effort. So I have every expectation that CHP, supported by the working group, will deliver on CHP's RAP, and I really thank them for that work. So once again, thanks to everybody, whether here or online, for being part of our celebration today, launching a reconciliation action plan. Thanks particularly to Damien and Andrew, who this wouldn't be kind of working at all if they hadn't been doing what they were doing. And thanks to you all for being here today. And we really look forward to continuing with and building and cementing the partnership that we have to deliver on this plan over the next few years. So thank you.
We have one more speaker.
Oh, no, speaker. Ah,
My apologies.
oh, back to you, Damien.
Thank you, Jenny. And as I just mentioned, we have one more speaker. Joining us online is Joelle Lowe from Reconciliation Australia.
Hi everyone. I have a feeling that I'm on a tiny screen right up the front. So thank you for having me. And like your CEO said, it is interesting to go after so many great speakers and just witnessing the relationship on display, which I think was really amazing and palpable through the screen, which was really cool. I just felt really part of your launch today. So thank you for creating such a welcoming environment for us all. So I am Joelle. I'm one of the RAP program managers with Reconciliation Australia, and I want to pay my respects to Uncle Colin and Aunty Carmel, and to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people with us today. I am here on the lands of the Ngunnawal people in up here in Canberra, and so again, it's just a privilege to be joining you from somewhere else. I certainly have had the privilege of benefiting from the vision and ingenuity of First Peoples, both in Malaysia, where I'm from, and here in Australia. And it's just really exciting to see and hear that throughout your RAP that you are prioritizing and honoring insights and contributions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people where you are and through your work. It's really heartening and encouraging to hear. And, like all of the speakers have said, with today's RAP launch, you are continuing your journey to imagining a better future, a future, of course, where Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people feel safe and proud and can bring their whole selves to work and every day, and certainly with a RAP where cultural safety is also benefiting everyone that you work with, both within your organization and the communities and networks that you influence. A little bit about the RAP program. We celebrated 15 years last year, and so by joining us, you join more than 2,000 organizations who are impacting over 20% of Australians every day. And that's some pretty exciting stuff. The potential for change and collective impact is certainly there. We've definitely seen success in employment, and I heard employment mentioned a lot. We've seen success through RAPs on employment, procurement, and cultural capability, but we've also learned that it takes, well, for it to be sustainable and genuine, it takes leadership and focus and ownership from everyone. I certainly feel that today from all of you, even though we're here virtually. And something that our CEO, Karen Mundine, reminds us, all of us daily, is that reconciliation is a journey, and it does take sustained leadership to lead to long-term transformation. And I heard someone mention earlier that they're just continuing to do the work that needs to be done, and that's amazing. So I think I want to encourage everyone, even though I feel you all are really familiar with this, that a RAP is not just about words on a page or commitments in a document. It really is about the culture we're building and the way we're building a better future. And reading your RAP, I'm excited to see that, you continue to focus on collaborative partnerships, that you're using your position as a peak body to influence, commitment to reconciliation across the homelessness sector. And again, that you are prioritizing honoring voices and expertise of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander workers and consumers. Again, you have, as a peak body, opportunity to drive sector learning. And so can't wait to see the results from your RAP implementation. And just to close, just want to say on behalf of Reconciliation Australia, thank you for the opportunity to join you today as a guest and a bit of a stranger, but I already feel very warmly towards the organization. And congratulations again on your commitment. And again, just the ongoing relationships that you will build and value. So we look forward to working with you in the months and years ahead. And again, welcome to the RAP Network.
Thank you so much to Joelle, and thank you so much to everybody here for being here with us today as we have now launched our first reconciliation action plan. Jenny was right, there is morning tea just over behind us, catered by Mabu Mabu, a Torres Strait Islander owned business. And I'm excited, they seem pretty swish. I'll also pop the gum leaves from Uncle Colin over there. He has a reminder request that we each take one. And so those will be with this morning's refreshments. Thank you so much for being here today, and let's close the meeting.